All right, welcome to the Media Lunch Break, everybody, where we give you all of your comic, geek, and movie news and all the time. I'm going to do that one more time.
You're reading it!
Shut up! Shut up! I know I'm reading it. Shut up! Shut up!
Ba 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 ba.
This is the temporary theme song for
The Media Lunch Break.
Shut up! Welcome to the Media Lunch Break. God damn it! Where we give you all of your comic, geek, and movie news all in the time it takes to eat a good sandwich, or for certain people, have a nice slice of 30th birthday cake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neither of us.
No, it's not. Neither of us. I'm Chris Treble. Alongside me, as always, is my co-host Andrew Dunn. Say hello, Andrew.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So it was your girl's 30th birthday.
It was. I mean, I don't own this person. Slavery was abolished quite some time ago, but it.
What?
I know.
I gotta make some calls.
You gotta clear out the basement.
Ooh.
So it was my girlfriend's 30th birthday. Yeah. So everyone who doesn't listen, wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah, that's fun. Nice.
I have I have a few things that I want to start off before we get into news.
Okay.
One, I forgot to mention one of my people for my Marvel casting last time. That's kind of an important person.
Okay, go for it.
It's Tom Hardy would be playing Thor.
Ooh,
I know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so we don't have to talk too much about that, but there was also something we forgot to put in, and it's something that you probably intentionally did not put in, because I know you don't like this segment, but I'm going to force it in, and it is 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And I figured since we just brought up Tom Hardy, we could try to get Tom Hardy to Kevin Bacon.
I don't remember this being a real segment.
I said I wanted it to be. It's happening.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just ease into it.
Well, hurry up.
All right, Tom Hardy was in some movies.
My God, man!
I almost said Max Payne. Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Charlize Theron.
Sure. No one else was in that movie.
With her.
No. What do you mean you don't know?
Oh! I got it, and it's a quick one.
All right.
If you can help me out, what's the dude's name who plays Beast in X-Men now? The new guy. Nicholas... Holt? Nicholas Holt? I'm pretty sure it's Nicholas Holt.
Sure, whatever.
But anyway,
that guy.
So he was in Mad Max with...
He is in Mad Max.
So Tom Hardy was in Mad Max with Nicholas Holt.
Yes.
Who was in First Class with Kevin Bacon. That's easy as that. Was that so difficult, Chris?
You know what? Now that I think back,
and screaming.
Now that I think back on recording last week's podcast, I think I remember, like, as we were getting to the end of the podcast, thinking, I wonder if I can get to the end of this without Andrew noticing that we haven't done 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And then we got to the end and I was like, nobody say anything.
Nobody. To all the voices in your head.
Yeah, nobody say anything.
Nicholas Holt is his name, confirmed. I did it.
Right, well.
Everyone at home, I did it. There's something else, too, that I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, so I also wanted to mention that when we were talking about the Hawkeye books...
The Fraction books?
Yeah. I had said that the fourth one, it kind of peters out or whatever, and that was... Yeah. I was like, that's clearly the worst one, though, right? And you were like, no, the third one is. I just thumbed through them, and I was thinking of the third one.
You were thinking... Yeah, no, you had to... I was like, he has to be thinking of the third one.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah. All right, so should we get to news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, I got some news items, Andrew. I got a little DC, I got a little Marvel, as always. I will give you the choice. Would you like to start with DC or Marvel? What? What's the sigh about? What's that sigh about?
Star Wars.
Too bad! I want to talk about Apple.
God damn it.
Yeah. So, originally I think we were going to do this as like a larger segment, and then I quickly realized I actually didn't care as much as I thought. Which is, I think, the reaction to the fact that Apple came out with the new iPhone.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone looked up from their iPhone, heard the news, and went quietly back to scrolling on Facebook on their iPhone.
For me, it's the exact opposite. It's the opposite end of the spectrum, because, you would expect, usually when these keynotes happen, there's like a little bit of sort of rumblings of anger. Right. But for the most part, there's an explosion of excitement.
Right.
And I opened up the internet machine to just sheer disappointment and outrage.
Well, so a couple of things that obviously the new iPhone 7 was announced. I was all excited about it, and then I realized I don't actually care about any of the details of this phone.
Yeah.
Like the camera is supposed to be better.
For the most part, they've just improved the specs.
Yeah, I'm a 30-something white guy, so I don't take a lot of selfies, so I don't really give a shit. I don't care.
You know, there's
care.
a camera on the other side of that phone.
Yeah,
too,
I don't
right?
give a shit.
Okay.
No, I don't care. You know what I do? When I'm in a memorable situation, you know what I do? I fucking look at it and remember it. That's what I do.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I do. I do that.
I believe you look at it.
Yeah.
I don't believe you can.
No, I probably
don't. Believe you have
well,
the brain
here's the
cells
other
left.
thing. If I take a picture of it, then I'm able to remember all of the harsh reality. Whereas if I don't, I just remember it the way I want to remember it.
But if you don't take pictures, how's someone going to Clockwork Orange you later?
True fact.
So, speaking of the new iPhone, did you see that it no longer has an auxiliary jack?
Yes. So, some new details about the iPhone that were actually interesting, other than the new camera being better.
Yeah, the processor's better. I think it's got more RAM.
So, anyway, some new details. There's no auxiliary jack. You now plug it into the Lightning port, which is interesting. All of them will come with an adapter.
Yep.
If you have, like everyone in the world, headphones that aren't the Apple headphones.
And don't want to pay $160 for the new
headphones. For the new Apple headphones, yeah. Yes, that's the other thing. $159 for wireless earbuds, which I've talked to like 2 or 3 people about this, and all of them say the same thing. The world will now just be littered with earbuds.
Yeah.
You will just be able to pick another one. If you lose your left one, walk down the sidewalk, look down, and you'll find another left one that someone else lost.
Don't you think, though, they have to match with each other? Like,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't care. What else was there? Oh,
the new Apple Watch.
The Apple Watch. Yeah, there's a new Apple Watch, which again...
And actually, I took a screenshot of an email that you sent me while I was at work talking about the some of the new things that would be happening.
Yeah.
Sort of what Nintendo's doing with,
the
new iOS. And it included the phrase, "Also, I'm watching the Apple Keynote, and they're getting a brand new Mario game for iPhone and Pokemon Go for Apple Watch. You're the only person I know who would give even half a shit about that."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
I did say that.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that was kind of like the most interesting part of the whole keynote.
Well, yeah,
was the Mario game.
Yeah, Mario's going to be cool. It's interesting that Nintendo's coming out for iOS-specific.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so you, who's a dirty communist and uses an Android,
I sure do,
you're gonna miss out on this. So.
It's fine. I never really liked Mario. I'm really more of a fan of Pokemon Go. I will say the hardest thing about Pokemon Go is you sort of have to carry your phone with you all the time. Like, it doesn't run in the background.
Yeah.
You have to leave your screen on in order to use it.
Right.
So I guess this is one alternative.
Have you still been playing Pokemon Go?
I have a little bit. Yeah. There's some new features.
Have you catched them all?
No.
No, you're a failure.
Well, here's the thing. Do you know that there are exclusive country Pokemon? Pokemon that are exclusive to various countries?
No.
Yeah. You can only get a Farfetch'd in Japan and a Mr. Mime in England, I think. And a Tauros in America.
That's interesting. You know what else is interesting? None of this shit is real. None of the
shit we talk about on this podcast is real. Just shut it off and let's go home and pretend we don't care about non-existent things.
Touche. Well, I'm one long trade riding in a crabby mood today. I'm just a fucking...
The MTA does that.
Yeah, I'm just pissed off to no one. So I'm trying to think... I don't have my fucking notes today. I'm trying to think what else I took down about the iPhone. That's pretty much it.
No, that was
Pokemon Go
yeah.
on the watch. Yeah, so...
I mean, that is the cool thing about the Pokemon Go being on the Apple Watch, though, is that you can sort of leave that on, and it'll alert you when things happen.
That is kind of... See, that's a game that feels like it's meant to be on the watch. That's the only... Yeah.
Well, because it's especially motivated to help people start working out and getting outside. So if you're running, it's really hard to run holding your phone, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think they've made it so that you can listen to music while you're playing the game, too. It overrides whatever music you're listening to.
That's annoying, too.
Yeah. So now
I hate all games that are like that, actually.
Yeah, basically.
When is aren't they coming out with a little Pokemon Go wristy thing?
Oh,
what is that?
I believe it's a clip. And it just, I think they just sold out, but they're still in the pre-order space. It's basically going to do the same thing that the Apple Watch will do.
If you don't have an Apple Watch.
Yeah, like it'll buzz when you're near a Pokemon. And I think you'll also have the ability to, like if it's a Pokemon you have already caught before, you'll be able to catch this other one that you've already caught before from that device as well. So you don't even need to open your phone from doing that.
Right. All right, well, that was... Like I said, I started off with like, oh, this is going to be amazing to talk about. And then 3 days in, I was like, actually, I stopped caring.
Yeah, how long was that? Like 8 minutes or something?
Yeah, so that's good.
We got about 8 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Also, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. And I'll probably move this to the beginning of the segment.
Sure, why not?
But we are going to start a new
process. My God, I can't believe that we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's not on
no,
here.
You know what? Here's why we'll keep this in at the second part, because we'll go in order of actual interesting news.
This is more interesting.
This is probably more interesting than the new iPhone. I'm not saying that as an ego thing. I'm just saying that as like...
I'm pretty sure I saw it on the front page of the Time. Podcast no one listens to, changing their lineup.
Yeah. So we're going to do a new format. We have decided... I love that we decided, but it took your girlfriend to come up with the idea.
It sure did. Well, also, we were trying to figure out... We've been starting every single podcast saying, it's in the time it takes you to eat a sandwich. It's supposed to be a lunch break. And I don't know anyone who has a lunch break that's 2 hours long. But so, all three of ours have been 2 hours long. So your girlfriend was like, hey, idiots, why don't you break up the episodes in half? So that's what we're going to start doing. So from now on, we're going to try and do kind of a 2-a-week episode where we're going to do, at the beginning of the week, the news segment. She also recommended Tuesday Newsday. Oh. And it will likely be out on Wednesday.
Yeah, Tuesday Newsday, out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But the first hour will be episode... I vote that we say, like this is episode 4, so we say 4.1 and 4.2. Sure.
Yeah.
So episode 4.1 will be the news.
Yeah.
And then we'll end it there, and then 2 days later we'll have episode 4.2 where we'll get to our actual subject and finish off with the reading assignments then. So not only are we telling you about it at home, but we just kind of decided how to do that right now.
Fun fact, the way this came into being as well is my girlfriend said, look, I love you, and it's really hard for me to listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to,
that sounds right.
But I can't get through it.
Yeah. My wife has said that she's going to listen to the podcast and hasn't.
Let's make that...
and I think that has nothing to do with the length and everything to just do with I'm on it.
Just like everything else in the relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I say we start a tally going, a counter for how many episodes.
Until she actually listens to one?
And we'll know because she'll tell you and she'll be like, hey, are you starting a counter to tell when I watch this?
Yes,
so this counter is going to go. We're gonna count every single episode. We'll start every episode. Not start, but we'll mention it every episode whether or not she has mentioned it to you yet.
Okay.
And if she hasn't, we'll keep going.
And if somebody out there knows my wife, don't tell her about this. This is going to be... I'm going to keep this a secret. I know I'm not supposed to do that in a marriage, but I'm going to do it anyway. Don't tell her about this. I want to see how long it takes for her to naturally come to the podcast.
See, I feel like it's my natural duty to help you keep secrets from your wife.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even know I'm recording.
You realize it's going to be like 2037, and we're going to be like...
We're going to be on episode... We're like, it's episode 152.1. Hey, my wife found out. Yeah.
We can finally quit.
Yep, and I've been staying on Andrew's couch for the last 3 days. So yeah, long story short, we're going to split this up into 2 separate episodes, so... I don't know, do with that information what you will.
I have big news as well.
Oh my God, again?
You're going to be excited about this.
Okay, go.
You might need to confirm this for me because I don't have a Mac.
Yes.
But I have confirmed that we are on Google Play Music.
Ooh!
And I think we're on iTunes. I got an email saying we're on iTunes.
How did we get on iTunes?
Because I submitted us.
I tried to do this. And alright, that's good, because I've been trying to do
you have to have
this.
an RSS feed.
Yes.
And we now have one.
None of this should make it into the actual episode.
Well, at least that we're on iTunes.
Alright, the iTunes part, but not the incompetence of me, and I can't figure out how to do an RSS
That's how I'm going to start it.
Excellent. Awesome. You want to get to actual news now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I did the Apple thing. Go ahead, start us up.
Okay. We talked a little bit, I think, last time about Daniel Radcliffe and whether or not he would return to do the Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter movie? Yep.
Yeah. That what is it called? The Cursed
Child.
So,
which are all the name I have for all children.
So he's released a statement. Or I think someone interviewed him and he talked about it.
He just said it out loud.
So they asked him if he would ever return to play Harry Potter again, sort of ambiguously, and he said, maybe, maybe not. I never want to close off that sort of thing. But his exact quote that I loved was, "There's a part of me that's like, some things are better left untouched. If we went back to Potter, there's a chance we would make what Star Wars The Force Awakens was to the original Star Wars, but there's also the chance that we'd make The Phantom Menace."
Oh, man. Oh, that's brilliant.
Right?
That's really good.
Yeah.
That is just like nerd humor within nerd humor just getting meta. The fact that Harry Potter just kicked George Lucas in the nuts. Like, it doesn't get any nerdier than that.
It sure doesn't.
Oh, man. I still say that he would definitely do it. I'm not saying like tomorrow, but I'm saying that I think he would do it.
He sounded like maybe not. I mean, here's the thing. I think if it was only up to Warner Brothers, I think they would absolutely do it. And they might, if J.K. Rowling ever gave them the opportunity and Daniel Radcliffe didn't want to do it, then they might recast.
Yeah.
But he even said, part of that I didn't read, he said... he certainly can't see himself playing that older Harry Potter right now.
Right.
And even 10 years from now.
Yeah, no, it's going to be I mean, I haven't read the play, but I know he has to age into the part, which is odd.
Which is interesting, though, because they did some pretty good aging on him in the last Harry Potter movie. Yeah, there's the very last scene, he sends his kids off to school.
Yeah, they age him all right.
Pretty well.
But remember, that's only for like one scene. So if they wanted to do it, they'd have to...
Right.
They'd have to do the opposite of what the trend is now of the DA. They'd have to age him up,
which I feel like is easier.
Yeah, but they'd have to do it for like a whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, think how...
You can do makeup.
You can. I mean, you can Benjamin Button him, but...
Yeah. I mean, if they can make The Lord of the Rings...
Yeah.
With all those people.
That's true. But, I mean, yeah, sure. But I just feel like... again, I say that Daniel Radcliffe knows that this is in the back of his pocket. Like, he can pull this out any day that he wants. Like, this is his trump card. Like, he can just pull it out anytime he wants. If his career goes on the skids and he's just being forgotten about, he can just come out and be like, you know what? I've thought about it, and I would love to make The Cursed Child into a movie. And Warner Brothers would just back the money trucks up to his house.
But the first part of that, I don't think that would ever happen. I don't think that he will ever start to be forgotten. He's been sort of on the forefront of...
No, he's done fine for himself. I'm just saying, like, years down the line, he could always pull this out whenever he wanted to. He could totally Mel Gibson his career.
Ooh.
And then, like, give it a year and be like, I kind of want to make The Cursed Child. And they'll be like, sure.
Maybe.
I think Warner Brothers totally do it.
Yikes.
Yeah, I went there. I got some news.
What do you got?
P.S. Oh, no. This one. So earlier this week, Star Trek premiered 50 years ago. Yeah, I did that a weird way, didn't I? That was a weird sentence. That was a Star Trek-esque time travel sentence.
I spent a week in Ohio one year.
It was Star Trek's 50th anniversary this week. Officially their 50th anniversary. It premiered 1966. Nice. I don't have anything else. I'm not...
Just that it happened?
Yeah, just that it just happened.
There's lots to talk about. I mean, about how... we wouldn't have a lot of the progressive entertainment that we have now without them. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy would be a completely different movie without.
True.
I'm sure we wouldn't have Zoe Saldana
in some ways,
Gamora.
we wouldn't even have Star Wars. Like, you have... Yeah. You have kind of an interest brought back again from into the science fiction.
I would sort of... I would argue against that, saying that... I would say certainly there's science fiction being brought in, and that's good. But more just from a progressive standpoint. I mean, the first interracial kiss happened on Star Trek.
That's true.
I believe they tackled AIDS on the Next Generation, and they sort of called it something else.
They did.
No, they referenced it. Picard said, many years ago on the planet that I come from.
They do reference it. They've done other things, slavery, things like that. I mean, that was the interesting thing about this show is that it's kind of it's very Onion-esque. I think George Takei, whichever way.
It's Takei.
It's Takei.
I know, because on the roast of William Shatner, George Takei said to William Shatner, it's pronounced Takei. Like toupee.
Yes. That classic. Yeah, that's right. It is George Takei. He described it like an onion that you peel back a layer after a layer after a layer.
Yeah.
That you have the idea, just this utopian vision of the future that is somewhat attainable. That you can have a crew that is made up of all races and all nationalities working, in conjunction together towards one specific vision.
Sure. Well, I mean, even when that show started, it was still basically about white dudes and their crew of sort of mismatched.
Right.
What is that word? A motley crew.
Oh, yeah.
Many different characters and people from different backgrounds. But eventually, because of that, we got Deep Space Nine, we got Voyager, we had women and people of color leading.
I mean, the movies really even, to me, the original series movies, the Kirk movies, they were great because if you watch them, they're not very action based.
Yeah,
they're not, and nothing against the Abrams verse, but what I do love about them is that they each one of them at their heart speaks to a specific issue.
Yeah.
And plays a certain way, and they're not, it's not a big. Lots of explosions, lots of shooting, that sort of a thing.
Sure.
But there's a heart to it that it is very much in the tradition of an Arthur C. Clarke or an Isaac Asimov or Jules Verne science fiction is meant to reflect the current reality that we have, and reflect the what makes us good as a species and what makes us better as why we get to be the higher species.
Yeah.
Why we deserve to be it.
Well, and something about those shows too is that something that no one had ever done before, and I'm sure it's happened since, but I can't think of a single instance, is it's the only show I know, and more so the original series and the Next Generation, that was about adventurers who are not fighters.
Yeah, they're not military. And their prime directive that they speak to, especially in the Next Generation, but I mean it is in the original series and in the movies, is that they specifically are told not to interfere.
Right.
We are explorers. We don't interfere. We just look. We observe, we learn, and we better ourselves through that.
And that sounds just like a terrible show. I don't even know.
You're
I
right.
have no idea how it got greenlit.
If you put it on paper, it sounds
how did that
really
even get greenlit?
uninteresting.
How did a producer go, this will make me back my money?
It's just, they're just people who go around to look at things. That's really all they are. They're meant to look at things. And
somehow
then it grows
they
from there.
Astoundingly made an interesting show with rich characters out of that and a great arc.
Right.
So that's cool.
Cool.
Mr. Sinister, officially confirmed for Wolverine 3.
Really?
Yes, director James Mangold.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, it is.
Director James Manbang says footage will be arriving, quote, very soon.
See, I'm very interested to see this footage.
Man, I'm not at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really dig Mr. Sinister. I think it's going to be weird.
Well, I'm just interested in the Wolverine movie.
Well, I thought that was the thing I was going to say too. Is I thought the Wolverine 3 was going to be Old Man Logan.
It is.
Mr. Sinister is not in that comic arc.
Yes, but there are many characters in that comic arc that Fox does not have the rights to.
That's
so
true.
They have to use what they can.
I really think the best idea would have been to just let Marvel do that and just switch out Wolverine for someone else.
I think that's a great idea. I think that will. I think that would essentially make a better movie.
Yeah.
However, I don't think Marvel would really do it because they have a good track record with whatever this storyline is that they're telling us.
And they haven't stepped
currently.
into time yet.
Yes, and that's the thing. And I don't think that they really 1, 2.
Yeah, X-Men has a lot of experience doing that already.
Well, that, and I like, despite the last X-Men movie, which I thought was good, but it was just kind of there. It just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
I like the idea that at some point the X-Men franchise was just like, you know what? We're just gonna, like, we don't give a shit. We're just gonna skip around time. We're not gonna, we're not gonna keep a through line of this stuff.
Really
we did the 3 and that's fine, but now we're gonna
taking risks.
Yeah. We're just gonna tell various stories from various time periods and not really keep a very harsh continuity to it.
Have you read that arc?
The Old Man Logan arc?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
All right.
But I'm really interested to see this. I think it's a mistake not to use the Fantastic Four in this, only because
Old Man Logan?
in the movie.
Yeah.
Only because they, like I said before, in the comics, there are a lot of characters that Fox doesn't have the right to. They don't have the right to Hawkeye. They don't have the right to the Hulk. They don't have the right to the Kingpin. They don't have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty much all the villains.
Skull.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who has all 4 territories.
They mention Doctor Doom. They mention Magneto.
Right.
But those are people who took over the land initially and then we're not.
It's Hulk, Kingpin.
January Jones is, what's her character? Emma Frost.
Oh, yeah,
is sort of an important character as well.
But that's what I mean. They have so few characters that they can use. It's like, let's just throw all of them in there. Let's, find a way to put in Deadpool, find a way to put in the Fantastic Four.
No, I agree. I think that's a great idea.
It would be the first good use of the Fantastic Four ever.
Well, and there's a...
By the way, and by say good use, I mean, like, put them in for, like, 3 scenes and then be done.
I actually think it would be great to have them littered about.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, don't make them a supporting character that they're in the whole movie.
Well, there's like a great moment where they go through Pym Canyon, which is just a giant skeleton.
Oh yeah.
So there are interesting things you could maybe do with, say, a giant elastic skeleton that's littered about or something like that.
That actually would be cool.
You could even replace the Hulk with the Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely could. That would actually be really good. Hopefully what they do, probably not what they're actually doing.
Definitely.
So the new Flash movie just got a new cast member.
It sure did.
Yeah, Billy Crudup.
Yep.
From Watchmen and Big Fish and those old Discover commercials. It's going to be playing Henry Allen, Barry Allen's father. How do you feel? What do you think about this Flash movie?
I like what I've seen of Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
So far, he seems like an interesting character. He seems like he's doing sort of what Jesse Eisenberg was doing with Lex Luthor, but with a character you can actually do that with.
Right.
He's making him quirky and interesting.
Right.
We'll see if he takes it too far. We'll see if it's believable or not, or over the top. Billy Crudup is a great choice for anything.
Yeah,
in my
that's
opinion.
true. I mean, I'm sure he comes. I think what you need for like any father character, but especially for any father character of a superhero, and especially Barry Allen's father, is you need someone who can play sincerity really well, and he plays sincerity like crazy good.
Yeah, he's excellent.
With that voice alone.
Yeah, well, and he's very rugged. He clearly is a man with history. He's weathered.
Yeah.
I think
I'm interested to see how they use him, only because he is still kind of young looking.
Yeah.
And Ezra Miller, while definitely looking younger than Billy Crudup, I wouldn't cast them as like father son.
See, I when I see Ezra Miller in the Justice League trailer, he looks like a young.
He does look like a young man.
I wouldn't peg him as older than maybe 20 or 22.
No, but I also wouldn't peg Billy Crudup as older than like 42.
See, I was gonna say I could put him upwards of 45, 50.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you give him a beard, you gray his temples a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, he's an extremely handsome man, but he's probably in his late 40s.
You know what I always forget? They have makeup on movies, and they can do things like that.
They can.
Yeah.
You can too.
Do you think it's going to be a flashback?
Was that a pun?
It is now.
Is what going to be a flash? Like, is Billy Crudup
Is Billy Crudup in a flashback?
No, I think he's probably going to... I think there's going to be, like, a scene where he visits him in prison or something.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Lord and Miller are doing it, so they can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they've done everything right, and they're doing the new young Han Solo movie.
Oh, great.
So, I mean, that, for me, is the only thing that it has going for it, is that, like, that I trust them. They did the Lego movie, they do Last Man on Earth, which is one of the funniest shows on TV, if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very good.
And they're doing this, and they're doing that. They're just on fire. Like, they can do no wrong.
I couldn't let this episode go by without talking about my favorite actor and his new movie.
Oh, yeah?
Gary Oldman.
Oh, yeah!
Who will be playing Winston Churchill in a movie called The Darkest Hour. It's coming out November of 2017.
Okay.
Seems like an odd choice.
Okay.
A very trim man playing someone as rotund and corpulent as Winston Churchill.
But you know what, Gary Oldman? I can buy it. Gary Oldman could act so fat he wouldn't even need the makeup.
That's true. And this is going to mark the first time in, I think, 12 years that he has played a real person, a person who's actually existed. And he's been known for that for some time with movies such as Sid and Nancy, where he played Sid Vicious, who was his breakout role. He also played Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK, and Joe Orton in Prick Up Your Ears. The last movie he portrayed a real person in was in 1994, and it was a movie called Immortal Beloved, where he played Ludwig von Beethoven. So this is his return. He's been playing a lot of Commissioner Gordons and a lot of Sirius Blacks as of late.
That's true. Yes, yeah. And then he did Tinker Tailor Soldier.
Yeah. That's true. And there have been characters he's played actually since then that arguably are based on real people, but one of them was in. I never know how to pronounce the name of this.
It's called The Professional.
No, that's a great one, though. Yeah. Can you imagine if that person...
If that was a real person, that'd be amazing. That'd be awesome.
There's a movie called Biscuit? It's French. I think it's Bisquuait, and it's about a painter, I believe, or a musician or some shit. I haven't seen it. That might be it, actually. But David Bowie infamously plays Andy Warhol in it, and Gary Oldman was chosen by the director to portray the director.
What a selfish jackass.
I know, but at the same time...
What kind of an asshole is like, I gotta cast... Not only am I gonna direct... I assume he wrote the movie?
Probably. But the guy also looks like Seth Rogen. Oh, what a dick. Not only am I going to write a movie and write myself into the movie, and I'm going to direct the movie that I wrote that has myself in the movie, I'm going to try and cast one of the most talented actors on the face of the planet to play me so I look really good in a movie that I'm directing that I wrote about myself. God, what an ass. That being said, I'm sure it's a great movie. Anyway, that was in 1996. So... That would have been
You say the year like it defends it.
That would have been more recently.
Okay. Great. Wonderful.
So there's that. You got anything else?
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty big news that I'm saving. I don't know if you're saving it.
Let's see if I can get to it first.
All right.
I wonder if it's this right here. So last week, this is kind of a follow-up story. We touched on Deathstroke footage coming out that is probably going to be used for the Ben Affleck solo Batman movie.
You thought it was going to be Justice League, and I said Batman, and I'm probably right.
Yeah, you're probably right. And they cast Deathstroke.
They sure did.
They sure did, with Joe Manganiello. Joe Smith. Yeah. Is going to be cast as Slade Deathstroke Wilson.
Not to be confused with Wade Deadpool Wilson,
who is a direct copy of Slade Wilson.
Sure is.
Admittedly,
I mean, all right. It can be argued that he's a copy, but he's a parody.
Yeah, he's a parody. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Satire.
But he is purposely done, like they have said that is true. Anyway, so I think this is perfect casting.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be great. I'm super excited.
Evidently, he was very close to playing Superman. Instead of Henry Cavill.
Why the fuck did I not cast him as Superman last week?
But he was he got mildly close to playing Batman.
I would rather see him as Superman.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he was very close to playing Superman, and he was in the running for Batman.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this guy, and he could play anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know who he... Oh. You know what? By the way, I love how halfway through all of this episode, we've just redone the last episode.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
adding more cast people. You know who he'd be good as?
Who would be good as?
Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, Jason Momoa is. I don't know that I'd want to replace
and maybe
him,
that's
but...
because he looks kind of like Jason Momoa. So now I'm just thinking of Jason Momoa.
I also read somewhere that he was supposed to play Deathstroke in something else. I can't remember what. No. Like, maybe Suicide.
Ago?
Not even necessarily years ago, but maybe Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even as early as maybe Batman vs. Superman or something like that.
I see. Yeah.
Sort of as a side character who comes in or something.
No, but I mean, either way, that's great casting.
Yeah.
It's going to be... it gets me more excited about the Ben Affleck solo Batman movie. All right, you were right. The footage was for the Batman movie.
I mean, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Screw you, Andrew. We don't know that yet.
You feeling better, champ?
No.
All right. Super Troopers 2 officially underway. For those of you who don't know, they started some sort of Indiegogo or Kickstarter or something forever ago, and they expected it to take a really long time. They needed like $1 million or something.
Right.
So they started this campaign where they locked Farva in a trunk and gave him like a cell phone to vlog what he was going to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they were going to keep him in there until they raised the money. They raised the money in 12 hours. And so
did he really spend 12 hours in a trunk?
I mean, the character did. I don't know that the actor... I mean, I don't know. No way.
I like to think that they locked the actor in a trunk.
But so they eventually they had to release this video where they were like, okay, look, here's the deal. We got our money. We're not letting him out. So just nobody tell Farva.
Nice.
We're leaving him in there.
Nice.
And they had this whole 2-week-long campaign where they ran out the clock, and I think they made 10 times their goal or something. So it's no surprise that they're actually doing it, but they finally released their first production photo from the set.
That's exciting. That's that is a movie that does not age.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch that and it's good.
Yeah,
it's just good.
The shenanigans bit is funny every time.
Yeah. I just love when he bites the bar. So,
I don't want a large Farva. I want a goddamn liter of cola.
Okay. This is I got another follow-up story from last week because we're actual journalists that way. Last week we talked about the Greg Berlanti shopping a new show around based around the DC character Black Lightning. Mm-hmm. It has found a home.
Oh,
Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Fox has picked up a pilot for the new Greg Berlanti show, Black Lightning. Interesting parallel. This will make the 5th superhero show for Greg Berlanti. This will also make the 5th superhero show for Fox.
Do you think they're just going to put the character on the Bill O'Reilly show and have them debate?
Probably. Yeah.
It's mostly going to be Bill O'Reilly yelling slurs at him.
Yeah, so this makes Gotham, Lucifer.
No, we already said Bill O'Reilly.
Ooh.
All right, that's the last Bill.
That's the last Bill.
Yeah, I just had to get a few punches in.
Yeah, sure. Gotham, Lucifer, 2 X-Men spin-offs that are going to be coming, and Black Lightning.
Yep.
My question is, how soon do you think this show switches to the CW?
Ooh. I mean, with Fox's history of good television, it's going to be canceled in 3 months, right?
Okay, yeah, so you give it 13 episodes and then CW's bring it on home, boys.
No, I actually think it'll probably be canceled, and then 10 years down the line, people will be like, I love this show so much, can we bring it back? And they'll say, it's a good... Oh, he's too old. Can't do it.
It's going to be the Firefly of...
Well, yeah, Firefly was the first one, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox has it. I'm trying to think. Firefly is one that was on Fox that they did it.
Family Guy.
That's 2.
Futurama made it pretty far, but still was canceled and then found a home on
3.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton. There's actually speaking of Family Guy, there's a Family Guy episode where I think Peter says, at least it doesn't, where do they go to die? Fox or something? And then they just have 20 seconds of a list of shows that are canceled from Fox.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's been...
was Dollhouse on Fox?
No, I was just going to say Dollhouse and Fringe are 2 that I'm surprised aren't alive somewhere else right now.
Sure.
But yeah. So I mean...
Somehow Bill O'Reilly's still on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's on...
All right, that's the last one.
Is it, though?
For today.
Is it, though?
By the way, we're becoming a political podcast moving forward.
Yeah.
We're scrapping the comics.
4.3. Yeah, Look, I love the Berlanti verse. I love the four shows that he has going for it. It's great. I'm glad that they moved Supergirl over to the CW. Because
where was that?
It was on CBS. What's nice now is that the Flash and you've started watching the Flash.
Yeah.
It's the Flash, the Arrow, Flash. Let me try this again. Is it the Flash? Yeah, it's the Flash. The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. They can constantly cross over each other because they all shoot in the same area up in Vancouver or Ontario or wherever they're shooting.
Somewhere up there.
And now they're moving production for Supergirl up there, so you can have a lot of crossovers, which they're doing. They're going to do. Yeah. They're going to do a 2-episode musical.
Yeah.
Between the Flash and Supergirl, but they're going to do like a 3-episode full crossover arc with all of the shows.
Well, and the musical episodes are unofficially likely to be written and directed by Joss Whedon.
Really?
That's the rumor. There hasn't been any official wording on that yet.
You think that's going to actually happen?
Who knows? I mean, think so. Half the time I think Joss Whedon is going to do something he doesn't, and then when I say, "Oh, that'll never happen," he'll never direct the Avengers.
Right. I mean, I don't think he'll do it. I think this just gets thrown around because the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode is so infamous.
Or Dr. Horrible.
Or Dr. Horrible. Yeah. He's just known to do this, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. But I am excited that someone actually picked up a Black Lightning pilot. I think that's really interesting. I'm gonna be excited to see who gets cast.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
that's gonna be good. So we got our first look at Shocker from Spider-Man: Homecoming. I don't know if you saw any of that.
I did not. I knew there was some new Spider-Man Homecoming photos that came out, but I have not
balls.
seen it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Balls good or balls bad?
Balls bad.
Balls bad?
It's pretty balls.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any on my phone, so I can't show you, but I posted them on our Twitter.
Oh my god, is that... Wait, this? No, this?
Yeah, that. The last one. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's him.
I mean...
Looks pretty balls. Here's the thing. I think it's going to be a one-off that Spider-Man just sort of knocks around a little bit and he goes into jail. So it might not.
Well, I mean, they have they said who's cast as the Shocker?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't read it.
I mean, Michael Keaton is the Vulture.
Right.
So they have. Here's what we have.
Presumably.
We have the Vulture, and we have the Tinkerer, who is widely known to make supervillain things. So I would, maybe this is something to do with like the Tinkerer makes a thing and he gives it to some guy.
Yeah, the Shocker.
Yeah. Because it does. You're right. It looks like a homemade costume.
Right. It looks like some idiot just ran out and decided to rob a bank.
Right.
An interesting thing too is that his lesser known about the Shocker is he doesn't use electricity. He has concussive blasters. So if he's wearing a lot of padding, that might be in case he gets flung back or something about his blasters.
I say, you know what? I trust Marvel. I trust it.
Although again, Marvel reportedly has very little to do with this movie. This one's going to be mostly Sony.
Yeah, but you know what? It really, anytime they have even a little input in it, because I would assume. So that's all well and good. Sony can have as much input as they want, as long as Marvel is the one kind of nudging the ship in the right direction.
You just said the people who said Idris Elba wasn't handsome enough to be James Bond can have as much say as they want.
Take it back. This movie's doomed.
I'm still on board. Like, this isn't enough. I'm so sure that this is going to be a guy who comes in for 30 seconds. It's probably the opening of the movie, and we see Spider-Man for the first time fight a bad guy and then send him off to jail.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is going to be... I think this is going to be, at best... I shouldn't even say at best. At most, a B story within the plot. Like, he may be in it for a little bit, but he's going to be a supporting villain as opposed to, like, the main villain. Yeah.
Do you have any other news?
I do. I have one more piece of news.
All right.
Piggybacking off of my last piece of news.
What is that?
It's Greg Berlanti again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't report this last week because we didn't get a chance to. But Greg Berlanti has been trying to get a Booster Gold movie off the ground.
That's
Very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done on this podcast before. I'm gonna give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Eric Scalalotti.
Is he Booster Gold?
He's not, but we're both very big fans.
Then I'm gonna edit this out.
Okay, cool. Eric Scarlatti at the Not Movies podcast, which is also a great podcast. Yeah. If you like us, go listen to them.
I like us.
He and I like us too.
Should I listen to this person?
You should actually listen to this podcast.
The podcast or just the person? Should I just call the person up?
Yeah, just call him. I'll give you the number. Great. You can text him afterwards. No, actually, the Not Movies podcast, to give them a quick plug, just because, is actually really good. They're a podcast where they get together and just start pitching like movies that will never get made.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a really great, funny podcast.
What are they on?
You can find them on iTunes. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're on SoundCloud. Nice. Go to iTunes and subscribe to them. Yeah. They're really good. But he and I have been big fans of Booster Gold for a while, so this is very exciting for us. Greg Berlanti has been trying to get this off the ground for a while. The interesting thing about this is everyone was asking, is this going to be part of the DCEU? And they've come out and said it will not be part of the DCEU. For me, I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of upset, and I'm like, no, this means it might actually be pretty good.
This is what I love, is that everyone's like, we love everything Greg Berlanti does. That's going to be great. We hate everything the DCEU does. Let's put the Booster Gold movie in the DCEU. And I was like, how did that... Those are not two...
Also, can you imagine that character just showing up in the middle of Batman moping? And just like, hey there, I'm from the future.
Yeah, he's the brightest, the most perky guy in the world. My big question is, and I really hope this is true, and I don't think that it is, but I really hope that it is, do you think this movie is part of the Berlantiverse?
It's hard to say. Because I had that thought as well.
Yeah.
I think
sure everyone had that thought.
I think...
Why wouldn't you?
That's what I was going to say. They would be idiots not to.
Yeah.
But they've been idiots like that before by casting a new Barry Allen.
Right. But that's what I mean. If you're going to... Here's my thing. If you're going to allow someone else to make one of your properties a new movie but not include it in your cinematic universe, then who cares? Then who cares if he puts it into... Plus, your TV shows... are so much better than your movies.
I was going to say, pretty soon they're going to start to make more money than the movies.
They are. They're so much better than the movies.
I will gladly buy a DVD set of The Flash before I ever go out and buy any of the movies they've made so far.
Yeah, if you gave me a choice... Listen, I will always go see a DCEU movie just because I'm a sucker and I'm an idiot. But also because I go out and I support these things because any comic book movie is better than no comic book movie.
Definitely.
I almost said except for Fantastic Four. I'll even throw in Fantastic Four. I will even throw that in.
Knife.
But if gun to my head, they were like, you can go watch a Batman versus Superman movie, a thing that has never happened before in the history of movies. You can go finally watch it, or you can stay home and watch an episode of The Flash. I'm going to watch an episode of The Flash.
Well, and to me, too, it has a lot to do with... I mean, you put the production names on it. You put Zack Snyder's name on one, and you put Berlanti on the other.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to tell me what it's about or who the characters are. I know from that.
Yeah. Now, right now, he says that he's just producing it, that he's not directing it.
Doesn't matter.
But he's going to direct it.
Yeah, the same way
he's definitely going to direct it.
The same way anything Michael Bay produces still comes out like a Michael Bay movie.
Right. Well, the other thing is he's saying that he's just producing it and he wants to direct it if they will let him. Which again, Warner Brothers, if you don't let him direct it, you're a moron. Yeah. Because he has shepherded the best stuff that you've ever done on screen.
There's a great Lewis Black joke where he equates gambling to putting a quarter one by one in the toilet.
And then flushing the toilet,
and every now and then it backs up and you feel like a winner. And I feel like that's what WB is doing right now with the DCEU.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited about this. Again, to continue on with our casting game, I'm going to throw a nice name out there that I think would make a great Booster Gold.
Okay.
Alan Tudyk.
Great. Now, Alan Tudyk was in Serenity with...
God damn it.
Who was in this? Nathan Fillion was in that, right? Can we get Nathan Fillion to Kevin Bacon somehow?
No,
maybe
we can't.
Felicia
Let's not
Day
even try.
Or Neil Patrick Harris. We could probably do... Neil Patrick Harris was probably in something with someone who was in something with Kevin Bacon, right?
If Nathan Fillion was in... Two Guys and a Girl, which had
movies.
Ryan... You had only movies?
Well, because otherwise you could just be like, X person was in The Simpsons with Kevin Bacon.
Well, no, but don't you have to have a starring role in the thing?
I mean, I don't know that there's set rules, but I tend to just do movies because it gets a little gray otherwise. There's a gray area. Well, what else? Alan Tudyk. What else has Alan Tudyk been in? He's going to be in Rogue One.
He was in Dodgeball. Ben
Stiller seems like a good way to go.
Yeah, okay, so Alan Tudyk was in Dodgeball with Ben Stiller.
Who was in Tropic Thunder.
Who was in Tropic Thunder.
Which gives us a lot of good people.
With,
where did we start? Alan Tudyk was in Dodgeball with Ben Stiller, who was in Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr., who was in The Avengers with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Who was in... Okay, this is going to get us to 5. So who was in The Hateful Eight with Tim Roth?
Yeah.
This might be 7, but I'll allow it. Who was in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead with Gary Oldman, who was in JFK with Kevin Bacon. There's probably an easier way to do that and faster.
Christ,
but
I
know that was 7, but I'll allow it for this time because we already did one earlier today.
Okay, we did 2 this episode, which means we don't do one next episode.
No, we didn't do one last episode. That's why we did 2 this episode.
Damn it.
I know, I'm sorry. I do have one more.
No, I'm sorry.
I have one very sad piece of news that I thought for sure you would have.
This is going to be the last piece of information, so way to take it out on a downer. Here we go.
Alan Moore is retiring.
What?
Alan Moore is retiring.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know he wasn't retired already.
I didn't know he was still alive.
I mean, he's been dead inside for a while.
Well, there's a couple of things he still wants to finish up. One of them is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Do you think it'll be as good as the movie?
I mean, is anything? God, that's still going. I've heard that. I haven't read a lot of that. I've heard it kind of peters off after a while.
I haven't read any of it. But Alan Moore, famous for The Killing Joke, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, a lot of really, really good stuff. So he's gonna finish out whatever he's working on and then just call it quits.
I mean, what is Hollywood gonna do when they have no more stuff to ruin? I mean, just.
Well, I'm wondering too. Like, do you think he'll shave his beard and just live in a box somewhere?
I would love it if he just shaved his beard and became normal and that's his version of retirement. Instead of, like, he did his weird old man phase early and really cashed in on it and made it really good. And so maybe now he's going to just, like, get a crew cut, shave his beard.
He's going to Benjamin Button and just,
he's just going to go, like...
do some blow.
Yeah, he's going to, go crazy 80s.
Like we all did.
Yeah. Like all our wayward youths. We just get a crew cut and do some blow.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything that's of any real note. There's the Toxic Avenger is going to be remade. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's by Troma.
Of course
Pictures.
I know the Toxic Avenger.
So they're remaking that, but that's basically all they know as of now.
You know what? I would pitch this. Toxic Avenger, the series.
I mean, they're not doing that.
No, I'm saying they should, though. Coming to Netflix.
Yeah, sure. I can see that.
And
coming to the CW.
Oh, man. If Greg Berlanti did the Toxic Avenger, that's probably the greatest idea ever. Greg Berlanti, if you're there... You know what I think Greg Berlanti should do?
Well, first of all, let's stop this right now and say, bigger than putting a man on the moon, bigger than solving tons of water crises...
Yeah.
Just
Greg Berlanti doing Toxic Avenger?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment.
The greatest idea ever.
Yeah. I think, you know what they should do? Instead, because Greg Berlanti, so far you've chosen really good characters. Mm-hmm. Let's get really bad characters and give that to Greg Berlanti and to make them good.
That's a good idea.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of really bad characters. Like Ambush Bug. There you go. Nobody even knows who that is. That's how bad that character is.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. Spider Pig. I know that's
How
Marvel,
dare you?
Still.
Isn't it Spider Ham?
I don't know.
Spider Ham.
I mean, listen. Clearly, I'm in over my depth with that one. Yeah. Is that going to do it for the news?
I think that's it.
That's all we got. Yeah. All right.
Listen in a couple more days. We'll come back.
We're going to be coming back at you. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, you finally saw it.
Yes, I did.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so hopefully I remember something.
I'll be happy to jog your memory.
Great.
All right. Well, until then, we'll see you in a couple of days.
And if you want to, you can check us out.
Where can they find us?
No, they can find us on Twitter.com. Our handle is @MediaLunchBreak. You can also go on to themedialunchbreak.com. We are also supposedly, though this has not been confirmed, on iTunes.
I'll tell you what, if we're on iTunes, go on iTunes, subscribe to us, give us a 5-star rating, because why not? Who cares? And then please tweet us and let us know that we're on iTunes.
Yes. Because
we don't know.
No.
There is a computer sitting in front of us. We could easily go find out for ourselves.
It's astounding we have enough knowledge to even be able to put this online.
It's astounding I even have enough knowledge to get to your house.
That's true as well.
That's true.
And you barely did that.
And I barely did that.
So you can find us there. We're also on Google Play Music now. That's official. You can check out our Patreon page if you feel like kicking in a couple bucks.
Yeah, keep the lights on, keep the mics going.
Yeah, and that's patreon.com/The Media Lunch Break. Very easy to find. You can also YouTube us. Just YouTube The Media Lunch Break. It comes right up.
Subscribe to us there.
Yeah, definitely.
We get something happens if we
regularly.
get like 100 subscribers, so I always encourage
something
you.
happens.
Something happens. I don't know.
I also, at some point, if anyone's listening to this, I want to start doing a what's that thing called? A giveaway.
Oh, yeah,
which we can do on YouTube. So the more people we get, if we get 100 subscribers, we'll pick a random person who comments and give away a thing.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
SoundCloud. We're on SoundCloud.
We are on SoundCloud. I believe that also is soundcloud.com/The Media Lunch Break.
Yep.
And I think... Oh, you can email us if you have any questions. Probably best to Twitter us, or Tweeter us, or Twitter us, whatever it is. But you can email us. We check it probably once every 10 years, and that is themedialunchbreak@gmail.com.
There you go.
I think that's it.
That's it.
All right. Do us.
All right, guys. We will see you in a couple of days.
Goodbye.
Bye. Hey, look. Remember you told me I could just hit the spacebar.
Yeah, you almost didn't.
Yeah.